Hey, this is Eric from CoachesTrainingRoom.com. Welcome back. This is video 2 of our 3-part video series. Video 1 covered the 1 critical strategy to becoming a successful soccer coach. Here in video 2, we have 3 jam-packed sessions we're going to walk through with you. Mark specifically is going to go step by step through these animations, so you don't want to miss it. Make sure you watch this all the way through. I can guarantee you're going to get some value out of these sessions and trainings that he shows you today. Take it away, Mark.
Hey, this is Mark from CoachesTrainingRoom.com, and today we're going to look at the 3 essential components of an effective practice. Now, before we go any further, it's important to remember that some teams may only get the chance to practice once or maybe twice per week, so it's very important that we're making the most of this time. So I'm going to run through a hypothetical practice situation aiming to begin to correct an area for improvement that I've noticed during my team's previous game. So I would start every practice with a typical warm-up, and I'm a firm believer that every player should warm up with the soccer ball at their feet. Anybody over 11 years old, it's important to add a dynamic stretching element to this warm-up, but generally focus your warm-up touches to suit the topic in hand. For example, a dribbling session, you might consider dribbling with the ball and then running with the ball, so changes of speed, using different part of the foot to control the ball and so on. So the scenario that I'm going to address today is my players are perfectly capable of passing the ball, but they often get caught out watching their pass instead of watching play develop and actually making things happen with their movement off the ball. So the first key element of every effective practice would be practicing the technique under no pressure. So this session that we're looking at here is designed to get players to notice their surroundings, be aware of changes in space, movement of players, and their passing options at all times. This is a really great opportunity. This part of the session is a great opportunity for the coach to really get in there and start to correct individual technique. So the drill is essentially 5 cones. 4 players per 5 cones, so there is 1 cone that is free at all times. 1 player starts with the ball and they pass to an available player. And what I'm then asking them to do is move to the free cone. So once they've passed, they're now able to move to that free cone. For the person receiving the ball, that free cone has now moved. So their pass to another free player, they would have to notice where that free cone was now, where the space had opened up on the field, and move quickly to there. Now, for this to be effective, I want this to be quite fast-paced. So I want players to get into habits of trying to think of their next move before they've received the ball, so that all they have to do is focus on a good first touch, and they're playing that ball off into the space that they wanted to. So really try and encourage your players to think about their pass before they receive it. That will obviously have an effect on how they control the ball and where they pass off to. Now the second element is to test the learning under passive pressure. So you're allowing every opportunity to succeed and build their confidence by actually increasing the difficulty in increments, in stages. The game we're looking at here pits a team of defenders against a passing team. And the players pass unopposed for maybe 4 or 5 passes, depending on the number of players that you actually have participating. Once they've made the set number of passes, 1 defender is allowed to enter and try and win the ball back. So now we have a numbers up situation, maybe 5 attackers against 1 defender. And again, players carry on from there. They attempt to make 4 or 5 more passes, and once they've done that, another defender can enter. And we're going to carry on playing, so we're going to get more defenders in there, so the difficulty level is increasing as we go, and we're hopefully going to play until there are even numbers. Now, if the ball goes out or the ball is won by the defenders, don't be afraid to step in, perhaps stop the game at that point and allow the players to discuss what went well, what went not so well, why did the defender win the ball back, what could we do a little differently this time. This is often a better way to check for learning, as it allows you to see that they're understanding, that they're actually absorbing, that they're realising what perhaps the mistake was in that situation. We're not really looking to point fingers, we're talking more as a team. What could we do better next time? This obviously allows players a chance to think about it and to actually learn from their teammates as they go as well. For every session, it's important to stick with one theme consistently. So if you're focusing on passing, make sure that your focus is passing from start to finish. Same with dribbling, same with an attacking session, make sure it's consistent start to finish. So finally what we do is we finish with a conditioned game. So full pressure environment, a game setting where we're focusing on giving a reward for using the right technique that we've been focusing on. And don't be afraid to stop that game at any point and actually bring it back to the basics. So what did we do in the start of the session? How did that help us get to this point now? What could we maybe do a little bit differently about this and actually get a little bit more success rate out of what we're doing? So what we're focusing on here is having two teams against each other, and the way to score points is actually by completing passes to a target player. So whichever team is in possession of the ball, their job is to make 2, maybe 3 or 4 passes amongst themselves while the ball's in play. Now, at any one time, they could give the ball back to one target player, but to score a point, they would have to go from one target player, make 4 passes infield, and move it across to the other side. Again, once we've got to the other side, the game would just move back on itself again. So the ball back infield, 4 more passes, and off to the other side is another point. Now, if the other team wins the ball back at any point, they're now in control of the ball. What they need to do is get the ball quickly to a target player and actually then begin scoring points for themselves. Don't be afraid to create a numbers up situations to begin with here. So you might have maybe 5 players against 3 players, just to have an increase in success rate, to show the reasons why we would do this, why it's beneficial to move into these open spaces created in a numbers up situation, and ultimately to score points and show them the benefit of that.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed video 2 of our 3-part video series. Click the link just below to download all 3 sessions that Mark went through today. Click like and comment below with the sessions that you would like more of as a coach, whether that's more passing, dribbling, defending, shooting, futsal sessions. Comment those below. Mark and I read each and every comment, and we'll respond if you have any questions. Video 3 coming up. Mark and I are very excited to share with you the top 3 learning styles for players, and we're also going to have a huge announcement in video 3. So make sure you keep a lookout for that email, and I'll see you there.